Last year, I finally got around to beating Sonic Unleashed for the Xbox 360. I never finished it in my younger years because I didn't want to run around and collect all of those stupid medallions to move on, and I'd already beaten the Wii version, so I was satisfied. During the final battle against Eggman, after finishing the first cycle of the fight, this happens.
Jeez, Eggman, simmer down!
I thought about what Sonic said, and he's right. While it's pretty cliche for endgame boss fights to play out this way, it's out of character for Eggman. He always has an evacuation plan when things go wrong. So what's different about this fight? Why is Eggman so hellbent on destroying Sonic without caring about his well-being? Well, he explains it to us at the beginning of the game.
I've waited a long time for this!
This wasn't just another plot to rule the world. Eggman has been working on this in the background of his other schemes, and when he was finally ready to put his plan into motion, he baited Sonic up to his space station, forced him to go supersonic with the 7 emeralds, just to steal his power and use it to unleash Dark Gaia from the planet's core. However, Eggman is very impulsive and sets his plan into motion way too early, causing unexpected events to play out. He was so focused on his goal, he neglected to research the rest of the manuscripts that would ultimately help Sonic defeat him.
I'm having a bad enough day as it is! First that professor runs off with the Gaia manuscript, and now the planet's coming back together!
That, Doctor, is the result of the power of the Chaos Emeralds, which you discarded along with Sonic. Ergo, another repercussion of your hasty actions.
Near the end of the game, Eggman has fixed most of these problems, and with him so close to victory, Sonic wasn't going to stand in his way. That's why he fights so hard at the end of Sonic Unleashed. Imagine working effortlessly on a project for so long and becoming proud of your efforts once it's close to completion, just to have someone else come and ruin it. How frustrating do you think that would be? This moment of the game made me think about Dr. Eggman's character as a whole, and what made him a fantastic villain. Unlike the rest of the Sonic cast, Eggman has no special abilities, yet he has never been afraid to take the blue blur or any of his friends head-on in battle. Eggman has an IQ of 300, which allows him to build incredible battle machines to stand against the heroes. The only time Eggman lets someone else take his place in battle is when he knows they are stronger than him and are more of a match for the heroes. Shadow the Hedgehog made his debut in Sonic Adventure 2 and fought alongside Eggman for World Conquest. Most of Sonic's fights in this game are against Shadow, because Shadow has the same abilities as him and more. But even then, Eggman wasn't afraid to step in when he felt it was necessary. Near the end of the game, Shadow goes to confront the hero team when they finally reach their base of operations, but is stopped by Eggman.
Wait, Shadow! I'm the one who should be telling them the end is near, not you! Now is the time to end this long drawn-out battle, and mark myself a place in history as the ultimate genius! If something happens to me, I'm counting on you to finish the job!
Eggman's not just a mechanical genius, he's also cunning and uses his rational thinking to get ahead in some of the earlier games. When his countless attempts to capture Princess Elise in Sonic 06 fail, he finally makes the ultimate decision to threaten her kingdom with heavy casualties if she doesn't comply. In Sonic Adventure 2, he holds Amy at gunpoint, tricking Sonic into an exploding capsule. And in the first Sonic Adventure game, he tricks Knuckles into fighting Sonic so he can steal the Chaos Emeralds while the heroes are distracted. Eggman is a force to be reckoned with, but as the series went on, his personality began to change. Eggman slowly began to go insane, causing him to make more mistakes and irrational decisions. Eggman's plans were still grand and out of this world, but Sonic was now able to beat him with ease. This was mostly due to Sega changing their policies on the franchise, due to irrelevant circumstances. Eggman was one of the characters that took the biggest blow. Sonic was no longer allowed to lose, or be put in a position where he could lose. Sonic Team, the team at Sega responsible for creating the games, could no longer show off Eggman's true potential. With Eggman's insanity getting worse, something had to be created to counter it, or rather, two somethings.
Y'all reckon
reckon you'll be able to get yourself enough of that energy to take over the whole dang planet?
Yes, I reckon I will. Where is your new voice chip?
Got it right here, sir. Just need to install it.
Enter Orbot and Cubot, two of the worst characters in the franchise. Orbot and Cubot are two sentient AI robots Eggman created to do all of his grunt work, but were also given the ability to speak so Eggman would have someone to talk to other than himself. The problem with the robots are what they represent. They are essentially the comic relief characters of the franchise that never needed to be created. Comic relief characters are somewhat of a stereotype nowadays. They are dim-witted characters that say and do stupid things to try and get a laugh out of the audience. The problem with these characters are that they just aren't funny, and usually come across as annoying, and the robots are no different. Sure, you may get a laugh or two out of a younger audience, but most of the time, people want these characters' scenes over with as quickly as possible. Fight me. The games don't even need comic relief characters, as Sonic and Eggman take care of that themselves with their snarky banter each time they encounter each other.
That's a pretty snazzy performance there.
Not that irritating hedgehog again! Attack!
Another reason why the robots are such useless characters is that in most games Eggman has other teammates to help him with his plans, and in those cases the robots are barely seen, which in my opinion is a good thing, so Eggman can get back to being Eggman. Orbot and Cubot were not the first two grunt robots Eggman has had across the franchise. Back in the day, a show was created titled The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. In the show, Eggman's helper robots were named Scratch and Grounder. Like Orbot and Cubot, they were also dim-witted characters, but their banter was funnier, and at the same time the show was meant to be funny and didn't follow a narrative, so banter like this was acceptable. Another show was created years later as an anime called Sonic X, with a lot of episodes taking inspiration from the games, this time with each season having a serial narrative. Eggman once again had a couple robots named Deco and Boko helping him out, but this time the two were level-headed and were able to think for themselves. The only time they showed up in the series was when they were actually needed, so the series could focus on the more important characters. If Orbot and Cubot were more like either of these two sets of characters, they would be more appreciated, but as they are now, they are insignificant. As far as the games go, Eggman loses his charm with Orbot and Cubot around as their incompetence rubs off on him. Eggman has had several different partners across the series, but Eggman shines the most when he's working by himself. Sonic Unleashed was a great example of this. Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 is another game where Eggman's independence truly shines and by far is my favorite version of the Doctor. The game was meant to be more serious than the other games in the series, and to show off what kind of opponent Eggman would be to Sonic if he was taken seriously. Unfortunately, due to all the problems the game faced behind the scenes, it was rushed and Eggman's story is pretty bland. However, there are still various scenes that show off how formidable Eggman is.
Huh? What?
No! It's no use. It's too powerful for you to overcome. Rest assured, they're not dead. Yet. Wouldn't the door have been easier? So, what do you want now? It seems we were all caught by the spatial distortion. Iblis's seal has been broken. Due to Mephilus's manipulation.
I can only wonder what direction the franchise would have gone had this game been successful. Eggman may have kept this serious personality and would have been a bigger threat to Sonic. Regardless, Eggman's perseverance and courage make him the perfect enemy for Sonic, and I hope future titles will continue to represent him as the lovable doctor he truly is.